my dreams came true. Because like, even if for some reason, like this baby doesn't stick and it's like, it's not meant to be, I'm just so glad that like, I have, like, you're giving me the chance, you know?
Yeah. I know. I'm hoping it does too. And
it's so special, like, to have that. And it means so much to us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Channon Rose. And in today's video, I'm so excited because you are going to be meeting my surrogate. You guys, I have been waiting over a year and a half to find her. It was a very difficult feat to find somebody that actually met all of the things that my husband and I wanted in a surrogate. It's such like a big deal to have somebody else carrying your baby and your embryo, especially because we only have one embryo left. So we had a lot of things that are, I guess, like controversial to most people, but not really to us. And it was hard to find, but we finally found her. She's literally not just our perfect surrogate. I literally feel like God just like sent her down as like my angel here on earth, but she also so much like me that I feel like I just met my new best friend. And I am so excited to have her be here today for you guys to meet. So without further ado, here is my surrogate that will, God willing, be carrying my baby boy very soon. And here she is. You guys, this is Patience, my little angel on earth. Yeah, I'm so happy. And you came to visit me.
I did, yes. I came out from California to Georgia to see my mom, and I had to come see you because I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. So
I know.
It'd be so exciting.
You know what's so cool too? She had like it was like a 3-hour drive from Georgia to here because she flew in to like where her mom lives.
Yes.
And she had a conversation with a driver, which, can you tell us about that? Because that was so like awesome. You're like,
yeah. So we had a very long drive. I had to get an Uber out here. Rental cars were just being a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But I got an amazing driver who was willing to drive me from Atlanta to Tennessee. So that was crazy.
Shout out to her.
Yes,
or
thank
they.
you.
Sorry.
To them.
To them.
Yes. So a non-binary person. And so it was really fun to be able to drive and get to know a little bit more about just this lifestyle, and also being African American too. Like that, it was just like this whole mix of a culture and just beauty in it, and just knowing like how, like talking about being a surrogate and everything just opened their eyes too of like, whoa, I didn't realize. They also said they had a friend who isn't able to get pregnant, and so oh well, maybe I should recommend a surrogate to them or for themselves. And so it's just really awesome to be able to drive and get to know a little bit more about this culture that people don't really get to have that conversation with. So
yeah. And didn't they say that
I got to change her life a little bit, and be a little glimmer of hope and happiness, and that there was a reason that I was able to be in that car ride with them. And same with for me, it was definitely a reason for me too. When things get kind of messy and crazy and you're just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? You just have to kind of look back and go, oh, okay, like that was for a reason, to protect me or for someone else's beauty in life. So
I love it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You are very good at like sparkling and shimmering and changing lives, because you've changed ours too, and like already so much. Even just like with some of the things we've dealt with, because Patience, who is literally has a lot of patience with some trolls that we have.
Oh yeah.
And immediately you have to remember that like sometimes people that have like a larger following or audience on social media, and then like when they start getting into social media, and then bam, like all of a sudden like they get hit with people that are not very nice, like saying really awful things. It just really sucks, you know? And she has had the most beautiful responses I think I've ever like seen from like anybody. It just shows like what a good heart you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just know that there's beauty in every single person, good or bad. And just because you have hateful things to say doesn't mean you're a bad person. Yeah, I just hope that everybody can get something out of this journey, that we're not doing this for selfish reasons. We're here to bring this little baby into the world and to show others that you can do it as well. And that's why we're documenting all of this.
Yeah.
And it's fun. We get to enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Do what we like to do. And it's okay if you like to put your family and everything on social media. And it's also okay if you don't. So just do you, and do it well, and do it with grace and love, and just try to be kind. It's really not that hard to be nice.
Right?
Sometimes it is for people.
So when we first started talking about our journey and posting online that she was going to be my surrogate, we had a lot of questions, and we thought we would come on and answer some of those questions. And also, Patience is also, you're a doula, right? And so she is just really educated and has a lot of knowledge about birthing process and also just like what surrogacy is, what goes into it. And it's just really interesting. So if you're watching this right now and you have a question that maybe we didn't answer in this video, like leave it down below. We will personally go read them and respond to them, because the whole point, like she said, of us sharing this journey is because we really want to document it in order to help and encourage others that maybe are struggling with something similar or who also want to become a surrogate.
And we're doing it a little bit differently than like the stigma of surrogacy of like you must give birth in the hospital, and just like the way we're going to be going about this whole journey is a little bit different. And so trying to break those stigmas of exactly how people think surrogacy should go. And so it'll be kind of fun documenting it all.
Totally. And we'll also like share, so stay tuned, because we're going to share some of like the controversial or different things that we are doing that like maybe, like she said, most people don't do or don't think it's possible to do, which is why we had such a hard time finding you, because we didn't know it was possible to find somebody like you that would do a home birth and some other stuff that we'll get into. Okay. All right.
Fun things.
So let's start with like one of the first questions, which I think a lot of people ask, which is how much does it cost?
So it ranges. I mean, some people do it for free, and that would be just wild on both ends, you know, like you pay for what you get in a way, but it can be anywhere on average, I would say, to like 35, 40 for the really low end, or like 50,000 to 65 for first time surrogate, and then it can go up to like 120,000 for experienced surrogate, however much people are willing to pay. So I would say an average of 50 to 100,000 is what people usually get. Also, like that's just a base pay. There's a lot of other parts in it too, of like travel costs and all the things that the parents pay for, and it can be really hard on the families. And so, you know, having a lot of grace as a surrogate too, and not just, you know, doing it for monetary reasons, because it takes a lot for a family to do that and to save and all the behind the scenes, and it goes into escrow. So it's not just like you're like, hey, can you pay for this? Can you do that? Like there's a whole system. Mostly like when you work with an agency, we have an amazing agency.
We do. So, shout out to your fertility advocates, Megan.
They are amazing.
Yes.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. And we'll talk a little bit more about her and that later too.
But when you have the agency there, they're able to help facilitate all of that. And so it makes it super helpful. But it's expensive.
Yes. Well, it's nice for the surrogates because they're doing something like literally the best gift that you can give somebody when people are trying to be able to have a baby that aren't able to. Like what a amazing gift to be able to give someone, so you're able to do something that is like so amazing, you know, but also be able to get paid for it. So like Patience was saying, I think when we looked into it, it was like for intended parents or people that are going to be paying for a surrogate, I would say regardless of where you are in the United States, you're going to be paying at least, and if you go through an agency, between 120 to like 250 grand or more. Total. So, and you have to kind of like have that already saved up, because a lot of the people, like when she was saying like escrow, like they make you put that chunk of money in there to make sure like you're able to pay for everything. And the surrogates don't get like all the money up front at once. You guys get like what, like a
stages. So implantation up until then, that's like the first payments. And then when you have a confirmed heartbeat, that's when the base pay starts. And then throughout your pregnancy, you're getting those payments. So it's not just the intended parents are out when they pay everything to the surrogate. It's actually given to them in little like
increments. Like monthly salary or like a monthly, I don't know.
I like to think of it like milestones, like heartbeat, you get paid. And then second trimester, there's things like that, or certain tests or things you have to do, or like, so I'm going to be doing a mock cycle, which is to like look at all of the days and to see where my uterus is and what my lining is for the thickness. And that will know exactly what day to implant the embryo. So like for those types of things, you get paid for that up until you have the baby. So if there is a miscarriage, it's up until that time, or if you do go to full term, you get that full money that you requested. And then you also get paid after as well for postpartum and
Yeah.
for family and children that you have to be along there with you.
Yeah. And also really cool, like some of the surrogates, like you can, if you want to be a surrogate, you can request like, I want to get massages at a certain point, or you guys get a allowance for like maternity clothes and travel and food. And we even pay like life insurance for you guys. There's like a lot of like
childcare for appointments and a lot of little perks that just make you feel really special because you're giving somebody a life. And so to have those little extra things just makes you feel like, you're not just doing it for money either. Like you get these little treats to help you feel a little extra loved on, and the little special things like massages and acupuncture. Those little things that you want.
I just think it's fun to mention because if there is anybody out there that has been thinking about being a surrogate, it might be like one of those little things that's like, oh yeah, I think I'll do it now.
Yeah.
All the little perks, Oh yeah, so it costs a lot of money, but definitely worth it. We saved for a really long time to be able to have her come into our lives, and hopefully this baby sticks and we'll be able to have baby number 3. So we'll see. Okay.
Send all your baby vibes.
Yes, please. We're be very grateful to have all the baby wishes and prayers for baby number 3. Okay, so what is another question? Do you remember?
Oh, like what does my husband think about it?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so at first my husband was like, you want to what? Like how does this even work? And so I had to, educate him a little bit on the process, and like, it's not my baby, because he's like, are you sure? Because I'm not going to give our baby away like that and with someone else's sperm. And so he was just a little weirded out at first a couple of years ago.
Because he didn't understand?
Yeah, like he didn't understand. Like people give their babies away for adoption or those things. And so he thought, is somebody going to artificially inseminate? And you can do that. It's called traditional surrogacy. So some people do that. But for us, we're having your embryo implanted into me. So it's like, okay, it's not our baby. And so his first thought too is like, well, how are you going to be emotionally with that? And I said, there's a lot of work I do with knowing this isn't going to be my baby. This is your child that I get to give to you. And so, a lot of education on the man's part, or on my part to the man, just to know, hey, this is why I want to do it. And he prayed about it a lot too. And he said, you know what? Like, I love our kids so much. And for someone to not have that gift to just be able to have more children when you want to, he said it just hurts his heart. And he could just feel for them, wow, like this is so hard. And he could really feel it. And he was like, if that's really what's on your heart and you want to do it, like, let's do it. So he's been there every step of the way, and like watching the kids if I have an appointment, or always checking in, like, how are they doing? And he was so excited to see that we were here and that the girls were playing. He was like, they're so sweet. Like, it's like my new little family here. I just met you, and it's like, I feel like we've known each other forever. And that was my biggest thing, is I want to have a connection with the family and not just be like a number or just pump out babies for somebody. Like, I want to feel that connection and love. And we're like the same person. It's crazy.
I know.
Like, literally everything. We're like, wait, what? Like Halloween stuff and
I know
everything. But so my husband at first was like, no way. And now he's so excited and just happy. So he's excited to be along this journey too. So if your husbands are a little hesitant, let me know, and I can send some good like little articles or things to read about the process, so they understand that it's not your baby. And they have that heart of like, oh, is my wife going to be okay? Like, what if something bad happens? And so you do get a life insurance policy. So like,
oh, you mean like that kind of bad?
Like,
I thought you meant just like, oh, if you lose a baby or something.
I mean, that's sad too. But if something bad happens to me, like, he'll be covered.
No, well, I'm not letting anything happen to you. I'm so protective, I feel like. You feel like literally like a sister or like a best friend that I feel like I've known forever. And like we literally for the first time met today, like a few hours ago in real life, you know what I mean? And I feel like I could just like hang out with her.
It's so awesome.
It is. It's really cool. We have a special like bond and connection like instantly, which is why we knew that you were like the perfect one. Like, we didn't have to like think about it or, you know what I mean? Like, and there were so many things that happened along the way. Like when we spoke with Megan, who is our agent that like helps us both, when she said that we had the same freaking fertility doctor, I was like, what? And that
all the people in the world. Like,
and then you don't even live there. Like, you live up north. So to have like, and so that was just like a God thing to me. And I was like, this is meant to be, babe. And Travis is really picky. Like we had some really high standards for our surrogate. And that was why we thought like we we are not going to find you. But we
really
did.
quickly,
And
yeah.
Travis was like, okay, yeah. And I didn't think he was going to be like okay with anybody, and he loved you. So I was like, yes.
Yeah, he's like a brother to me. I love talking with him. He's really just like wise, and I like his humor too. It's fun to be around.
He's funny. Okay, so do you want to talk about, let's do like why or what you wanted in intended parents, and then I can do what I wanted in a surrogate.
Yeah, so I tried to be a surrogate 2 years ago, and then I did get pregnant, and so that was like an answer to my prayers.
But your own pregnancy.
Yes,
not with
my
their
own baby.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be a surrogate, and I think then I didn't have as high of standards, and I was just like, I want to be pregnant, I want to help somebody, and I wasn't fully like educated on it. But then I actually got to be a doula for a surrogate, and that opened my eyes to see more of the process and everything. And also it was in the hospital, and I saw the birth be a little different than, because it's not your baby you're birthing, so there's some emotional stuff. And so being able to support her through that, it was like, wow, okay, like I needed this next pregnancy to figure that out so I could find my person, you. But the first time was like, okay, I need to have somebody who, or like the standards were, I need to have somebody who's okay with me not vaccinating during pregnancy. And that is a very touchy subject where a lot of people are like, well, it's okay if you don't have like the COVID vaccine. I was like, well, actually like none. Like none of them. Like, I mean it. Like I'm not doing any for myself, but also for the baby. Like I think that it's so important that your baby just comes out the way that they need to, and they're not, vaccinated with these just foreign things. And it's to me, it's like that's an important thing, to be able to bring your baby into this world flawlessly without all the stuff. And so I wanted no vaccines. I'm a strong advocate for home birthing, and so I really wanted to have a home birth. And everybody almost is like, you can't do that with surrogacy. And like you can do whatever you want. Actually, like it's America, and you have the choice to birth however you want. If you want to birth at the beach, like you can do that. So do you when it comes to birth. That was like an important thing, or at least like a midwife-led birth in a birth center. But I don't want to step foot in the hospital if I don't have to. And then having somebody that is good with like documenting the process. And they were like, why would you want to do that? And it's like, I want to announce to the whole world, like you get to birth however you want, and you can have this really good connection. And a lot of people thought I was crazy about wanting to document it all too. So those were the three main things. And what were yours?
And those were the three main things for us, which is so crazy, because I think, and also like, I know we're going to get a lot of like kickback or, people disagreeing with our choices. But I think that like at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we're free to make our own choices, and we live in America. And like we have that freedom of choice. And I think that's so important that we all get to make those decisions for our own family. And a lot of things that you may think are safe and healthy for your family, or what's best for your family, may be different for other people. And for us, we have our own reasons why we feel very strongly about no vaccines. And we've had a lot of health issues in our family, and still do. A lot of those have been caused by those things. And we've also just done a ton of research, and a lot of stuff's coming out even now about stuff. And so, we just really feel very strongly about that. And we did not think that we were going to be able to find somebody that was also like-minded and felt that same way. But also another thing is like the home birth. I really wanted to home birth my babies, and even both of them actually. Even with Snow, I had a doula, and I ended up not being able to home birth. And so I really wanted to find somebody that would be open to that. It wasn't like a must-have thing, but it was really high on our list. So and also like the agencies before we met Megan at Your Fertility Advocate would not allow it. It was like a policy that they had, like, no, the intended parents are paying too much money if there's a problem or an emergency. And, that it's just like, no. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this might not work. Like, we might not be able to do this. And then the documentation thing, that's huge. A lot of people are not okay being on camera. They do not like it at all. So the fact that you like literally our top three things, I was like, holy shit, I found someone. I'm like, I can't believe it. And Travis was like, seriously? And I'm like, yes. Like, we've been searching for you for a year and a half, and we had saved all this money and we're so ready, but like, we didn't know it was going to happen. And now here you are.
I would like scroll like on this match group and just be looking, and I'd read. I'm like, oh, it's close. Like, I'll message them and see. And then I saw Shannon's and I was like, oh my gosh, I like, I need to message her right now. And I did. And then I found her on Instagram, and then I was like, hey, and then I called Megan and I was like, I need this lady. Like, she's perfect. But then I found out that she also sent me this. She was like, you need to meet Shannon. And I was like, I just messaged her. Like, this is so crazy. And I had no idea who you even were. I just saw like those main points. I was like, oh, like, I need this person to go through this journey with. And then we like talked, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing. And every single time we talk, we find something that's the same.
Yeah. And it was like, and so we also should shout out Sam.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't know if I actually met her. I might have, my memory is really bad, but my husband was on a show called Gutted with her, like a while ago. And that's kind of like how I followed her, was because I followed everybody that was on the show. And she was like, I saw that she was a surrogate, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was following her journey, and I just thought like, she just was like a cool chick, you know, like, and it was doing cool stuff, and I loved her videos. And so I had followed her. And then I remember when we realized like I was not going to be able to carry our last baby, I tried so hard not to cry. Like, I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then
I get to hug you this time, not just watch you cry.
I know. I'm like, you would think like I'd cried it all out by now, but like,
yeah, it's hard.
But like, I had thought of her, and I'm like, oh, like she was a surrogate. Like, maybe let me find out what agency she used, because like maybe, you know, she knows people. And that's how I found her Facebook group. And so then I was like, and then I like literally went into her Facebook group, put that thing, and then that day literally you like messaged me.
Crazy. Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Thank you, Lord.
I know. Like, my dreams came true, because like, even if like for some reason like this baby doesn't stick and it's like it's not meant to be, like, I'm just so glad that like I have, like, you're giving me the chance, you know.
Yeah. I know. I'm hoping it does too. And
it's so special, like, to have that, and it means so much to us. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me, because this is a huge thing to even be able to trust somebody with. And I always think of that with almost every decision I make. It's like, I'm going to carry someone else's baby. And when I have my own, it's different. You're like, it's okay, you know, to have an extra cup of coffee or something. Whenever it's like, no, extreme babysitting. Like, you cannot let anything bad happen. But to have that piece of like, if something does happen, we know it's not in our hands, and I'm going to try my absolute best to make it work. But that gives me a lot of peace too, that we both just know we're here to be along the journey together.
Yeah.
It's going to be, however it's already planned. Yes. We get to enjoy it. And just be like, just coming here, and our daughter's playing today was like, we're both like, our girls don't really like play.
I know, I'm like, I need to warn you.
Like, and I'm warning her too, like it's gonna be a little crazy, like they're kind of fair, and they just like bonded and love each other,
just
and
like
it's just
us.
so
oh my God, our kids
it's
are
so
the same.
Great. They just it's just been such an awesome journey already. And it's been worth every moment.
And we'll be best friends forever. So we got like a cool friendship out of this too. So I'm very excited. Okay, so are there any other questions? Oh, actually, there was one question that was actually really interesting that we had gotten when we did a live on Instagram. And it was, do you still get paid if for some reason the baby is born stillborn?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the surrogate still goes through the birth, the pregnancy, and everything. So up until that time you have the baby, you get paid. If it is like 24-week stillbirth, it's different than like a 38-week stillbirth, because you get up to that week period. But if you have a full-term stillborn baby, yes, the surrogate does still get paid, because you have gone through this journey, you have birthed the baby, and for the family too, they get to experience like, bonding with their baby after and having that time to bond with this baby that they lost. So yeah, they do still get paid, and that can be kind of hard for both parties, feeling kind of guilty of like, I shouldn't get paid, but
no, I don't feel
birth,
that. Yeah,
so
you literally were pregnant for 9 months, and like that's not your fault. Like,
so obviously we all try to not have that happen, but things can be out of our control, and that's a really good question, because a lot of people think that you have these babies and because this happened you wouldn't get paid and it wouldn't be worth it, but it is. And that's why going through a good agency, like making sure whoever you choose, like independent is when you just kind of go on your own, but really making sure like the people that you choose to support you are going to educate and help you through everything, and not just find someone and then you don't get paid, or there can be some scary things out there. So do your research too and make sure that you have like a good team to support you.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you have a little story time about trying to go independent and it did not end well.
Yeah.
So learn from our mistakes. Don't make the same ones. Get yourself a good agency.
Yes.
Also, just because like for the surrogate and the intended parents, like there's so many things that go into surrogacy that you would not even think of that the agency already knows, and like literally you don't have to there's so many things you have to like worry about, and that you don't have to worry about. And so I feel like it's just
they just have it dialed in. They have their little system. They know like what attorneys to reach out to, because you both get an attorney.
Yep.
They know all the paperwork, the legal stuff, even the appointments they schedule for you. Like it's way easier for both parties to eliminate that stress, and that helps babies stick better too when both parties metals and molds and arsenics and like everything in your body.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Good to know.
Because they pay for it too, right?
Yeah.
So like,
So I was like, thank you for like all of these, like, wow, okay, I have mold in my body. Now how can I get rid of it? And then sending me this kit to take, which read labels of things, because some of them are like, do these detoxes, but it may cause reproductive harm. You're like, I'm not going to put that in my body when I'm going to have your baby. And then getting my house mold tested to find out, where did this mold come from? But your body can hold on to mold from when you were a child and ate boxed foods or like some bad things that caused mold in your body, and it can continue into adulthood. So that, and then my husband had to get his labs taken to make sure he doesn't have like HIV, and they said he was just like taking vials and vials, and he's like, what are you doing to me? Like you're taking all this blood from me, like what? And I was like, if that's all you have to do through this process, like come on,
I'm like,
you're gonna be
seriously.
But they have to be tested to make sure that the baby isn't introduced to like some crazy infectious diseases and stuff. So they have to do that. They do a mental evaluation too on the surrogate, and then they ask all the questions about your family, extended family, like in-laws, and how much you are interacting with them, and like making sure they're good influences, background checks on both parties to make sure you're not just signing up with a crazy person, and making sure like, oh yeah, you're both sane and good to go, like you don't have some felony records or any of that crazy stuff. But there's just a lot of the behind the scenes of details and paperwork and lots of stuff to make sure, but it's good, and that's why you want to have this team that knows exactly what they're doing, so both parties are covered,
protected. Definitely.
So that I don't take your baby.
Well, actually, like I was really, well, only because like of what we do. And I have so many like weird, you know, like, and so, and everyone knew I was, you know, wanting to find a surrogate. And so at first I was like, well, because there's something called parentage rights, and like you don't get those until after the transfer. Like the embryo, my embryo is transferred into her, and so I was like, well, wait, why? Like, would they wait till after to do it? And it's just like it's part of like the process. But like at first, before I met you or knew, I was like, you know, paranoid. I'm like, well, what if like this crazy person wants to take my baby? You know, like, but anybody I feel like would think that, you know,
for
and so,
sure.
But that's why.
And then also on the surrogate side, it's like, what if they decide they don't want this baby anymore? And you're like,
could you imagine?
I'm pregnant with this baby, and they're like, I'm just kidding. Like, I actually don't want a baby anymore. And you're like, what? Like, sorry, you don't get to choose that.
Right.
And then like, well, what happens to the baby? Do they go up for adoption? Like, so there is both sides of like, no, it is not my baby. It is yours, and you're responsible for it.
Yeah. But that's why like there's legal processes, and you go with an agency so that they're able to make sure that you're following all the proper procedures so that I'm protected, she's protected. We know that she's going to be paid. The money's in an escrow account so that she knows, like, you know, she doesn't have to ask us for money all the time when she needs stuff. It's just like there for her.
Yeah.
And she knows like before going into this that like we're good for the money, and like it's all, you know, there.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of reasons I feel like why it's like smart to go with an agency, but also just like this is how it works, you know, and we're happy to like answer more questions if you guys have any. So please feel free to leave them down below. Or reach out to any one of us. You guys can follow Patience. We'll put her social media handles here. She's on Instagram the most, right? Yeah. So go follow her over on Instagram. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little video. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on here.
Yes,
my little YouTube fam. Yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something new. We would love if you wanted to follow along on this journey with us. We will be uploading and sharing and documenting the full journey. So like when she goes to do her transfer and the testing, the mock cycle, I feel like you should film all of that. Yeah. Because some people don't know what that is.
Pictures and videos every day, but it's just taking the time to like be able to post and put words with it. But I do a lot of my stories of like little things. So if you really want to watch, like follow my little stories. And then I have a highlight, and actually Your Fertility Advocate, they have a highlight on their thing.
Oh, they do?
Of my journey too.
Oh, cool.
So anything that we post, if we tag them, it goes to Your Fertility Advocate's little bubble.
Okay, so follow them too.
Yeah.
Because you could see not just our journey, but others too.
There's a lot of amazing surrogates that are a part of this agency. And it's fun. We get to all be in a little chat together and like collaborate on some fun ideas. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so
it's a
fun.
Really awesome community.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. We're sending you all of our love and all of our positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video. Mwah.